if you hard restrict it and make it harder to get in, the only people who are going to make the attempts to get in, or generally going to make the attempts to get in, are more likely to commit crimes.
Well, that's just not, there's no data or evidence to suggest that at all. When we've had the strictest immigration policies, crime was at its lowest in this country.
What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. My name is Ederio, and I'm back with another video on check out with you guys. This is called Illegal Immigration is a Problem. And how it goes, guys, to talk less and react more. Let's check this out.
In the case of immigration, if you hard restrict it and make it harder to get in, the only people who are going to make the attempts to get in, or generally going to make the attempts to get in, are more likely to commit crimes.
Well, that's just not, there's no data or evidence to suggest that at all. When we've had the strictest immigration policies, crime was at its lowest in this country.
Well,
so in the 1950s,
that's correlation.
Well, no, it's actually direct causation. Right now we have wide open borders, correct? DNA background testing from over 120 different countries.
Sure, but I don't think that has to do with the process of getting into the country. Well, it has to do with the process of getting in the country, because if it's extremely difficult to get in through legally, people are going to resort to coming through illegally.
Well,
is that not true?
Well, but we should just prevent both. I mean, that's the point.
You should prevent people getting in any way.
Yeah, well, we should have a total immigration moratorium in this country. Completely.
We have like the lowest unemployment we've had in a long time. Wouldn't we want more workers?
No, we want wages to go up for American workers.
Yeah,
it's the opposite.
Well.
So you want to restrict the labor pool so that you guys get the jobs first, not some competitor from Korea or Japan that comes in and steals your tech job. Shouldn't we invest in American workers first before foreigners?
We should.
But why do you think wages are not keeping up with inflation? Because we're bringing in millions of people into this country every single year that you guys have to compete against, and they don't have student loan debt.
If we're bringing
so they're able to undercut wages every single year. Yeah, continue.
If we're bringing in so many people, I don't think we would have as low unemployment as we would right now. Would we?
There's two types of unemployment. There's structural unemployment, and then there's specialized unemployment. Specialized unemployment is very, very high, which is about 8 to 9%, which is more computer science, data engineering. But we have millions of people that have entered the disabled roles too. So, but to your point, we do have millions of people coming into the. I mean, it's not even a question.
But how many of those people you think that are coming in or would come in if we made it faster and more easy are going to be taking these high specialized tech jobs?
Well, very few, but the point is that they undercut the muscular class, which is the very people that pay the biggest burden for all these policies.
You said that the high unemployment is in specialized, not in general unemployment.
Correct.
So if general unemployment is so low, then why are we worried about people coming in taking the jobs of the labor?
Well, that's not the only reason why we're worried. We're worried because many of them are coming in illegally, and they're criminals, every single one of them. So they break our laws.
I think you're proving my point here, though.
But no, you're just making one sliver of economics, though. Numbers aside, how many of you guys have seen things get so expensive in the last year and a half? Okay, so that's just.
I agree, but I think we have different reasons, because I see that major companies.
Why are prices going up?
I see major companies are owning different things like cereal brands. There's like 2 companies that own all cereal brands, and when they can increase the prices continually and say, hey, look, guys, it's inflation, when they're making record profits that they've never made before.
If that's the case, then why are small businesses raising their prices?
Small businesses are raising their prices because the products that they're getting in from these major 2-3 companies are
okay, so how does inflation work?
Inflation works by having more money in the system. And generally, because of that, your dollar is worth less, and then your wages don't really increase. And because your wages don't increase, everything's costing more to you.
So true or false, we have injected around $10 trillion of new money in the last 3 years.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that is the number one reason why we're seeing prices increase.
Absolutely, but I think it's slowed. The inflation itself has slowed down a lot, and the prices themselves.
It depends on what good or service you're talking about.
I agree, and I think the reason it's what good or service is because the goods or services that are in control of borderline monopolies are able to raise their prices more and more. That's why when you go to the grocery store, the big issue is a bunch of things are going up that are controlled by major companies that are supplying all these grocery stores, right?
Yeah, but a lot of them have competitors, and so I mean, I could list 5 or 6 examples where there's robust competition and prices are still going up. But we have too many dollars chasing too few goods and services. That's the big problem.
Our worker base isn't really churning as it should because we have such low unemployment, which is why I'm saying immigration should be easier to come in, because when your workers aren't moving through positions and stuff, wages aren't going to increase that often because you're more likely to get a wage increase by switching to another job that pays you more.
Yeah, so wouldn't it make, if you want to get wages up, shouldn't you want to restrict the amount of workers in the workforce? I mean, so if you have 200 people you could hire to fix a window, or 30 people to hire to fix a window, which pool is going to have the higher average wage?
I think the smaller pool would.
Okay, we agree.
The issue is a lot of people right now aren't wanting to go switch to other jobs all the time. And when you get more people and more jobs, you're likely to have more churn through there.
Okay, yeah, I don't think we disagree on that.
Okay, cool. So that's why I'm saying.
Yeah, but you don't have me convinced on the immigration issue, though.
Okay,
because if you restrict immigration across the board, then you have a prioritization and a lesser pool of competition for foreign-born American labor.
Sure, but I think, am I wrong in saying your issue is that you have issues with specialized labor coming in and taking the positions of higher, paying more specialized?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's specialized muscular class labor, which is conflated. Yeah. So there's advanced manufacturing too, which does not require a college degree, but can take 6 to 9 months of apprenticeship. Or for example, being an auto mechanic. That's not exactly being a coder, but that's tough work, right? Sure. Or even more simply,
I just don't think that that's the majority of labor that is going to come in if we allow more people through. And it's not like a blanket, we're letting everybody through. But right now I see my biggest issue with the right is that why are we restricting more immigration other than illegal immigration? But why are we not proposing ways to loosen immigration to fix the jobs that aren't like that? Because there's most jobs aren't generally in those classes.
No, you're coming after this in good faith. My response would be, we need a national training program to get Americans properly trained before we try to import foreign labor to fill those positions.
Exactly.
And that goes back to my college is a scam type postulation. So we have oversupplied the credentialing, which is 4-year college degree, and we've undersupplied the 6 to 9 month specialization vector. And because of that, we have massive job openings. I want to get to the next question. Thank you. Appreciate it.
This was a very, very educative debate. The college student actually has his fact, and I agree with some of them, though not all of them. And Charlie also has his fact, and I agree with some of them too, but not all of them. Charlie has a point where he says, or when he gave the example that if there are 200 people who can fix a window in this place, and then there are 30 people who can fix a window in this other place, then between the two pools, who do you think would have the higher wage rate? And the college students agreed when he said it was the people that had a 30-man workforce for the window fixing. Now, this immigration, Charlie has a point when he said that a lot more people shouldn't be coming into the country. I mean, every American should be more concerned with investing in themselves, in enhancing themselves. These students of the opinion that they could reduce lack of, unemployment. That's the word he used. They could reduce it if there are more people entering the country to enter this aspect of labor. But how could this solve any problem? Because by the time there's an influx of people from different walks of life coming to do every single job that is in America, then by the time you leave college, or if you decide not to go to college, as an apprentice, what shot do you have in the labor sector? How do you intend on getting paid very well for what you learned or for the skill you decide to acquire? This particular context is pushing for won't solve any problem. Rather, it will propound problems. And I don't agree with him when he said if you make immigration laws too strict, then whoever enters is more likely to commit a crime. I don't agree with that. I believe that if the laws are strict, just as Charlie said, there's no data to prove what the college kid said. And Charlie said that if the laws are strict, then they tend to appreciate it more. And I honestly believe that too, because by the time you work very hard to get into a country of your dream, if I'm to put it that way, I honestly believe you won't get in there and misbehave. But by the time it's too easy, you just walk in, you feel like you own it already, then I believe in that case, there's every tendency for more crimes to occur. And besides, people just walking in or waltzing into the country is not safe, because you don't know who you're letting through those borders. You don't know if it could be a terrorist or an armed robber or a kidnapper or a fraudster or something of the sort. And at the end, when the crimes are committed, it is reported in America. It is on the country's name. So I believe immigration laws should be strict. I agree with Charlie on that. one. And I believe that if they decide to, just as he said, concentrate on the specialized aspect of labor, then at some point, immigration won't even be necessary to do some odd jobs that the immigrants are even coming in to do. I believe we learned one or two things from this video. Please leave a thumbs up at the end of this video and leave your comment in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.